Alright kids, a couple of months ago I decided that after I finished Master Grade Shenlong Gundam, I was going to finally tackle a kit that I should have done a long time ago. But honestly, I'm kind of glad I waited until now because I think my skills have improved since the time when I originally bought this kit, so hopefully that'll make it turn out a little bit better. Anyway, this is the G System 1:100 scale Ex-S Gundam conversion kit. And I hesitate even calling it a conversion kit because it doesn't use very much of the Master Grade Ex-S Gundam. It basically just uses what little inner frame it comes with. But at the end, you will have a fantastic looking Ex-S Gundam, in my opinion. So, the last few months, about 6 months or so, I've been focusing less on buying new kits and focusing more on trying to build and paint the kits that are in my backlog, which is ridiculously big, and I ought to be ashamed of it. But it was kind of funny. Back during the fall, my top most requested kit was Master Grade the O. So I built it and painted it finally after a couple months. And then after that, my number 2 most requested kit was the Perfect Grade pt01. And as most of you know, back in February I built and painted it as well. And I think this is definitely my 3rd most requested kit. And I think it is high time that it finally got some attention. So this is my work in progress video, or at least the first one anyway, for the G System Ex-S Gundam. Alright, so first things first, we've got to, well actually I've already disassembled the Master Grade Ex-S Gundam and went through the instructions on the G System kit and picked out all of the parts from the Master Grade that I'm going to need. And here they all are right here, and it pretty much amounts to about 1/3 of the kit. Pretty much all of the inner frame is going to be used, including things like the legs here, what little inner frames the arms have, both core fighters. A good portion of the backpack is going to be used. A lot of the, actually about half of the beam smart gun, and a little bit of the outer armor is going to be used as well. And basically at this point, I just have to set to work sanding the surface of the kit to get these in preparation for painting. And I don't know, I've found myself kind of finding it hard to find motivation to work on this. I just haven't really felt like doing Gunpla the last few days, and I don't know, it's just kind of weird to me because I've been doing kits like non-stop for the past 6 months or so, probably longer than that. And I don't know, maybe I've been playing video games too much and it's distracted me from Gunpla. But anyway, I had to pretty much force myself to start working on this kit because I've got way too much Gunpla to sit around not doing anything. Plus, my next project after Ex-S Gundam I'm really excited about, and I want to get this guy done so I can get around to that kit. Alright, so now we finally get to start working with the resin parts. And just like on my last resin kit, we're going to start off by giving all of the resin parts a nice bath in some dishwashing detergent. It's an anti-grease agent, so it should remove any of that mold release residue that's going to be left over on the parts. That'll help our paint stick a little bit better. And after we let them soak in there for a while, we'll just give them a nice scrubbing with a toothbrush to make sure that all of that residue is gone. And after, make sure everything's clean, rinse it off, and we can set it out to dry. Now I do want to take a quick moment to comment on the casting quality of this kit. I had heard a lot of people, anybody who's built a G-System kit, talk about how G-System's got like flawless casting quality and you hardly have to do any cleanup at all. I don't know, maybe that's the case on their newer kits, but I would hardly call the casting quality on this flawless. I've noticed a lot of flash. You can see some in there, in that little vent right there. Especially on parts like for the legs and the knees, there was a lot of flash there. I've noticed a few minor surface imperfections, like little bubbles and just some little uneven spaces. And I don't know, maybe it just didn't quite live up to the reputation that had come before it. Like I said, maybe it's just on their newer kits that the casting quality is so good. Maybe this is just one of their older releases. I know this kit is several years old. Then again, maybe they were just having an off day when they were casting this particular kit. But then again, having said all of that, it's nothing a little bit of sandpaper can't fix, so I think we're going to end up being just fine. And then after washing all the parts, just like with the plastic parts, we will set to sanding the entire surface of all the resin parts. And what this is going to do is it's just going to smooth out any surface imperfections and just give the parts a nice clean little nice finish there. One thing that I do want to note, that while I'm sanding this, sometimes if you sand away too much, you might accidentally sand away the panel lines. So on hand I've got my Tamiya scriber. This is nice for really big panel lines, like these big panel lines that are going across here. But let's see, where'd it go? I've also got a smaller scriber here, and this pin vise didn't come with it, but that right there is the scriber. See how tiny that is? This is a 0.15 millimeter scriber from Mr. Hobby. Got this from Hobby Wave, and I found that it is incredibly useful for scribing very small panel lines. And if I ever accidentally sand one away while sanding the surface of a kit, I can always use this to re-scribe it back in place. Oh, and just for proof, yes, I am wearing a mask while sanding the resin parts, because resin dust does have the potential to cause lung cancer if you breathe it in large quantities. So a dust mask or wet sanding, or a combination of both, is definitely recommended while sanding resin. Okay, so I'm in the middle of assembling Ex-S Gundam, and I've run into a bit of a problem. As you can see here, we've got the side skirts, and I am supposed to have 4 of these, yet I've only got 3. That is an extraordinarily large problem. I have checked and double checked and triple checked and quadruple checked all of the bags from the kit, and I absolutely cannot find the 4th part for the side skirt anywhere. And seeing as how I just opened these parts yesterday, the parts were sealed in their little plastic baggies, and I just cut them open yesterday, I find it highly unlikely that I lost the piece. I'm not saying it's not possible. I could have lost the piece, but I just don't think that's likely, seeing as how I just opened them. But the if you remember, the little instruction checklist here was passed that all the parts were present. Either this guy was kind of falling asleep on the job, or I lost the part. One of those two things is got to be the case. So this is extraordinarily unfortunate. However, all is not lost, because I can always use the original side skirts that came with the master grade. So if worse comes to worse, I can always just use these and get by. Although I don't think they'll look quite as good, but I'll use those if I have to. And seeing as how I've looked absolutely everywhere I can think of, I've looked under tables and desks and looked in little nooks and crannies and everywhere, and I can't find it. It's looking like I just may have to use these plastic side skirts. So that's a bit of unfortunate news, but I think we're still going to be able to push through with this project. Alright, so at this point, this is what Ex-S Gundam is going to look like with all, well, not all, but most of the outer armor from the resin conversion kit applied to it. As you can see, we got a metal V-fin here, metal parts for the beam cannons on the backpack, metal parts for the incoms on the knees, and yeah, I am going to have to end up using the plastic side skirts, but then again, I don't think that'll be too bad. It does fit quite nicely on the clear display base that came with the kit, and it does give the kit quite a height advantage. As you can see, I've brought a master grade RX-78 for comparison, and there they are. So be sure to note that these are both 1:100 scale kits, and even with both their feet on the same level, Ex-S Gundam is at least twice as big, probably 2.5 times bigger than your average mobile suit. For another comparison, here's the perfect grade RX-78-2 Gundam, and on his display stand, Ex-S Gundam is still quite a bit taller. If we put them both at about the same foot level, they're about the same height, as you can see. So my thoughts so far on this kit, I think it's a very well thought out conversion kit. All of the parts seem to fit very nicely, and it's got lots of great detail. I really like the proportions on it. My only problem with the kit so far is that the casting quality has left a lot to be desired, especially since I'd heard so much about G-System's great casting quality, but unfortunately I don't think they delivered on this particular kit. Like I said earlier, this may have been one of their older kits, predating their flawless casting quality reputation, but either way, bad casting quality is bad casting quality nonetheless. But I think I can deal with it, a little bit of sanding and a little bit of reworking, and I think we will end up with a very nice looking kit in the end. So that about does it for part 1 of the work in progress. I haven't completely finished cleaning up the kit yet. I still have a little bit of work to do, but after that gets done, we can move on to the painting portion of this project. So with that, I will see you guys next time.